Hey, welcome back to Danford Golf Instruction. Today we're going to talk about your backswing, but more specifically, the top of your backswing. We're going to talk about the takeaway and where the club is in your takeaway and how that affects the top of your backswing. And then when the club gets to the top of your backswing, how that affects your downswing. So basically, we're going to look a lot of the backswing, exactly where the club lays on top and how that affects your downswing. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Give us a like. You guys did awesome last time. We got lots of likes in the last video. Just hope to get a few more subscribers. And again, if you have any questions, leave some comments down below. I'd love to answer those when I have a chance. All right, so we're going to talk about your takeaway into your backswing and to the top of your backswing. All right. Once again, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to try to put out a video at least once a week coming up here over the summer. So we can really help you guys get your game on track. And then if you haven't already, make sure you like, leave us a comment. We always appreciate those things. So let's talk about how do we get to the top of the backswing? What are some of the things that really derail us trying to get to a good spot on top of the backswing? Because of course, if we're on a weird spot at the top of the backswing, it's hard to recover from there. And we're always looking for more consistent golf swings. But when you're inconsistent on where the club is on top, you're going to be very inconsistent on how the club comes down and delivers to the golf ball. Okay, so to start off, we all know what a perfect takeaway looks like. Okay, when you set up to it, this is one position that I always look for in my golfers. All right, just in case you ever run into any videos online, you probably have if you're watching this, is they talk about position 1, position 2, and all the different positions. All right, so I'll explain those really fast. Your setup is position 1. When the club is parallel to the ground, it's position 2. When your left forearm is parallel to the ground for right-handers, that's position 3. And then position 4 is the top of the swing, is when the club again is parallel to the ground. All right, so we're going to go basically from P2 to P4 today. So once you set up to it, perfect takeaway is when the club is parallel to the ground and it hides your hands. Okay, our shoulders have turned, hides our hands. Fake is that, you can get it online, or if you tilt underneath, those are all fake ways. So your shoulders still have to basically, if they start on your spine, they're going to stay on top of your spine. It's not going to go up, it's not going to go deep, right? And your shoulders and your arms move together, right? And that's our perfect takeaway, all right? One of the issues that we tend to come in contact with is either our hands are inside or our wrists make the club move inside. So you can have perfect hand movements, but if your club comes inside and then you take it to the top or you elevate your arms, okay, you can see we have that flying elbow. But what I dislike more is how the club is across the line. All right, when the club gets across the line, this is basically our first thing that we need to focus on. Is it's going to lead to a lot of stuff. You can either loop it way underneath and you're going to get stuck, and you can see how my body's going to stand up. You might swing out to the right and hit these huge draws. All right, it's going to be very inconsistent because it's going to require a lot of face rotation. All right, so a lot of face rotation is hard to time it up. We don't have that much time to practice that and get really good at it. All right, now perfect takeaway. All right, and then we're going to push it back inside. Let's talk about that flying elbow. Okay, I don't really care. All right, your elbow flying, Jack Nicklaus let it fly. There's lots of good golfers on tour that let it fly. All right. One thing that I kind of look for is your forearm to actually match your spine angle. So people might call that a flying elbow, but that's something that I like to see. I like to see parallel positions in your golf swing. So if you take it inside and you get that out there, you can keep your arm out there even if you have limited internal rotation with your shoulder. So if you can't basically pull your elbow back like that, if you have issues with your right shoulder, stuff like that, it's okay if it flies. It's whatever is easiest for your body. All right, so we take it to the top, got the flying elbow. All right, what you need to fix is you got to get that left forearm to have some forearm rotation, or whatever you want to call it, wrist rotation. You got to get that club to feel like it is, for you, it's going to feel like it's laid off. All right, for me, that would be laid off. If you're over here, if you get it to there, would be good. All right, so again, we'll talk about those positions. So P2, P3, P4, all right? If you have a really good backswing, basically, once again, now your hands are gonna hide the club head, okay? So we go from club head hiding hands to hands hiding the club head. Okay, and that would be ideal at the top of the backswing, is that if you can get it there, because then it's very easy to deliver it. If you get it up here, you have to reroute it, or most people don't reroute it, they go steep into it, and that's where you see the big slices. And if you're across the line with the driver, it's extraordinarily hard for you to make that correction in time for you to hit it straight. Right? Now the other option, when you get to the top of your backswing, let's say the club is outside your hands, right, and you get it to the top and you're laid off. Okay, I think it's easier to recover from a laid off position. All right, but what also happens, good golfers will drop it. Most of our average golfers will steepen the shaft on the way down, and then we see that steep move again, because most likely if you're watching this sometime in your life or right now, you probably struggle with a steep downswing. You hit big divots, you hit stuff off the toe a lot, right? So let's say we get it laid off, all right? What you really have to concentrate, if you're laid off, you can't let that club steepen again on the way down. You're gotta let that arm feel like it drops down before you start turning, right? That's really hard to do. So if you just want to make life really easy on yourself, practice that takeaway, get it to hide behind your hands, all right? Get it to the top, try to feel like the club basically almost looks like it's in the same plane as your left arm there, and then, because if you pull down, you should be okay. It'll even be hard for you to come over the top a little bit unless your body sequence is really messed up. Okay, so just make sure you really pay attention to the takeaway. It doesn't even have to be perfect. All right, if somebody takes the club inside that I give lessons to, but they get it to the top really good, I'm okay. If they take it outside but they get it to the top really good, I'm okay. All right, but where the club lays on the top is super important. It can make life a lot easier for you, and it can really make your transition. It'll help you hit more balls more consistently, maybe even be more powerful. You can deliver it easier. All right, so make sure you know where that club should be on top. All right, go home, tape yourself. Try not to get the club across the line, too laid off. All right, we're looking for something half-beat in between, nice and medium there. All right, so it hides your hands. All right, and then from there, we just deliver it in. Now, if you haven't even watched any of my other videos about like depth in your backswing, stuff like that, you might check those out. All right, I'm not going to cover that today, but depth in your backswing is a pretty big, important key to really help you not be somebody who swings over the top. Too much depth, or basically being around you too much, again, is an opposite, different problem, different solution. All right, so I hope you enjoyed these videos. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, give us lots of likes, and we'll see you back here next week.